power does not announce itself. It does not always wear uniforms. It does not always speak loudly, and it does not always use force. Power survives because people believe in it. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of the world, future leaders, thinkers, and observers of power, welcome. This is not a motivational address. This is not propaganda. This is not ideology. This is political reality. Tonight, we do not ask who is good or who is evil. We do not ask who deserves to rule. We ask a far more dangerous question. What is power, and why does it work? Part 1. The most common lie about power. The most common lie about power is that power belongs to the strong. We are taught from childhood that power comes from armies, weapons, money, violence. This belief is comforting. It gives the illusion that power is simple, but it is false. If power belonged only to strength, the strongest would rule forever. They do not. Empires collapse, kings are overthrown, regimes fall. Not because they suddenly became weak, but because something far more important disappeared. Obedience. The most effective power is not the power that kills, but the power that convinces. Power does not begin with force. Force is what power uses when it is already failing. Part 2. Obedience, the true foundation. Let us be precise. Power exists only when people comply. A government gives orders, a police officer gives commands, a judge gives rulings. None of these work unless someone chooses to obey. This is uncomfortable to accept, because it means that power is not imposed on society. It is produced by society. No power can exist without the consent of the governed. John Locke. Consent does not mean love. Consent does not mean happiness. Consent means acceptance, habit, resignation, belief that resistance is pointless. This is why power often survives even when people suffer. Part 3. Why people obey even unjust power. This is the question that defines political science. Why do people obey systems that limit them? The answer is not stupidity, and it is not weakness. It is predictability. Humans fear chaos more than control. A harsh order feels safer than uncertainty. People will endure injustice longer than instability. Power understands this. That is why authority focuses less on justice and more on order. Part 4. Habit as invisible power. The strongest form of power is the one you no longer notice. You wake up, you follow rules, you obey signals, you accept procedures. Not because you are forced, but because it feels normal. This is how power becomes invisible. The most dangerous power is the one that feels natural. Schools teach it, bureaucracy enforces it, language normalizes it. Power does not need to threaten when habit does the work. Part 5. Symbols. Why power dresses itself. Power always wears symbols. Uniforms, titles, flags, rituals. These are not decorations. They are psychological architecture. A uniform says, this authority existed before you and will exist after you. Symbols do not represent power, they create it. This is why fallen regimes keep their symbols until the very last moment. Part 6. When power begins to fail. Power does not collapse loudly. It weakens quietly. Rules stop being respected. Orders require force. Symbols lose meaning. This is the danger zone. When power must explain itself, it is already in trouble. At this stage, authority becomes nervous. It increases surveillance, it increases punishment, it increases propaganda. But these are symptoms, not solutions.